Oh, we're getting Surin's perspective, eh? I still haven't had Naran's perspective in his own route yet, other than the very beginning. Alright, the military commander's battlefield.
No way.
Has it been confirmed?
Yes, it seems she crossed the river in the cover of darkness.
Oh, so Shalu got out, eh?
The roaring sound of thunder added an even more eerie color to the words spoken by the servant. Beside Naran, who stood aghast, I sat down and looked up at the sky through the window. It was quite cheeky of the spirits to announce the start of a war.
Roos is taking action?
They're still nursing their old war wounds. For them to take action now, they must have gotten some info that works in their favor. And what about Toya?
His Majesty has gathered the guard soldiers and are preparing for battle. The military 1st Division will also receive the royal command soon.
Damn, we're actually going to war against Roos in this one? Yikes.
And what about you, Master?
I'm also going. Give the order to the entire army, not just the 1st Division. I doubt Roos will be satisfied with retaliation alone.
Which means...
Yeah, they're coming to take them back. Otherwise, that innocent Roos King wouldn't get lost in the darkness. The man I crossed blades with wasn't the kind of man who'd seek out petty revenge. Send the 1st Division out to Toya just in case. They probably seriously want to kill him. And do things in a way that doesn't tip Naala off.
As you wish. Bro!
Naran, I'm leaving her to you. She'll figure it out soon enough, but keep her in the dark as long as possible.
Do you think that the missus would take this opportunity to incite a riot? She's not that kind of...
I know that. The problem is the other woman. If we let her out of the mansion, she might get caught up in what that other woman has already started.
I see. But bro, I'm sorry, but this time I can't follow your orders.
What's the meaning of that?
This time. For once, I want you to take me into battle with you.
I told you, you're too young for that.
I'm already 18 years old! Do you know how many years you've been telling me that? Generally speaking, I'm well past the age.
Looking at him as he bites his lips in frustration, I remembered what happened earlier in the Grand Hall. While I was dealing with that representative, Naran looked at me with eyes full of fury, as if looking at a love rival. Which probably is what I am to him, but he was definitely looking at me. Maybe he compared himself with me and felt frustrated at his lack of power.
Damn, Surin has got his number. Always.
Is that for your own sake?
Huh?
I'm more or less sure Naran's impatience is because of Naala. He must want to get rid of the helpless feeling of not being able to do anything for the woman he's in love with. His brown eyes darted around, perhaps because he knew I saw right through him. Really? How long are you gonna be so stupidly honest? Even the military can't stay independent of politics. Being in the military means being involved to some extent. Even with my backing, with Naran's temperament, he'd hit a wall at some point. I'm worried about that. Well, I will admit to being overprotective of him. The look in his eyes, staring straight at me, has not changed since I saved him. He doesn't try to hide his impatience and adoration, and he follows me around with foolish honesty. When did I realize that I was the one being saved by those eyes? There were times when I was discouraged after having devoted my life to fighting in bloody battles. In the midst of all this, every time I felt his unclouded gaze of longing on my back, it gave me the strength to move forward, It became the driving force to move my feet. I realized that it was always me who was being helped. I can't afford to lose you here. This battle will probably be tougher than the last time. Bruce is taking an act of war because they decided that they could do so. You stay here. If something happens to me, I want you to protect her.
What are you saying, bro? Don't say such ominous things!
I'm just saying, it's possible, that's all.
Even so, I don't want to hear those words out of your mouth, bro. If we lose you, it won't just be the missus. I won't be able to go on either.
How long do you intend to stay a kid? It's about time to take off the training wheels.
No way. And I don't deserve your trust.
You're the one I believe in the most. I'll decide whether you're worth it or not. Naran's face contorted as if he were about to cry. Looking at him with a sideways glance, I picked up the sword that was propped up against the wall. I made a prediction as I prepared for battle. Given Naran's personality, he's just about at the breaking point for his guilt. Sure enough, I heard a quivering voice from behind. He could have ended things without saying it, but that's not like him. Such clumsiness almost makes me chuckle.
Even if I were to betray you.
Huh? How? Have you been sneaking drinks when I wasn't looking? Because...
The night you fell off the cliff. Mrs. tried to go to you, but I stopped her. I knew that if she knew the truth, that you really loved her, that she would definitely love you back. So I told a lie.
Dang. Wow. Wow, confessions happening tonight.
And that's not all! And I also hid the vegetables so that I could go out shopping with her!
I knew it! You hid the vegetables! I knew it! You ain't slick, Naran! Oh my goodness. I'm glad that that got confirmed, 'cause I'm like, there's something strange with those veggies. Oh, this boy.
I know.
What?
How long do you think we've been together? I know what you're thinking before you do.
Then why?
I really didn't want to be asked why. I'd kill any man who makes moves on my wife without hesitation. That's what I thought, at least. But I was naive. I couldn't bring myself to hate Naran. The other day, when Naala said that she didn't see me as a man, that was the final nail in the coffin.
I mean, she didn't say she didn't see you as a man. She's just like, I don't see you as my husband, I see you as an ally. Same diff, I guess, whatever. Well, I mean, this is good. You know what? I'm proud of everybody for communicating in this route. Because it's a sucky situation for this love triangle that's going on.
I envied you. There were times when I was jealous of Naran, just as Naran admired me. Naran is always honest and can be open with his feelings. Are you aware, Naran, that you're actually much braver than I am? To be honest, I didn't want to tell her that I loved her and have her reject me. More to the point, I was afraid. So I could only face her by forcing her to become my wife. It's only natural for such a pathetic husband to get dumped. I'm sure Naran will protect her with the kind of strength that I don't have. She laughs in front of you. Watching you two, even from a distance, has been pretty fun. I kinda like that scene. And I hate the idea of it being destroyed.
Bro.
And besides, she likes...
No! The missus loves you!
You really are dull, Naran. With those big eyes of yours, how could you not see it?
I have a duty to protect you, for the missus' sake as well. If you're going somewhere dangerous, then I'll be your shield.
No.
I'm going anyway, even if you say no.
I said it, thinking just in case, but it seemed to have the opposite effect. When Naran is assertive and won't back down, there is nothing I can say. Come to think of it, I wonder if he was this persistent when he came to me asking to be my apprentice. No matter how many times I refused, he kept following me, so I finally gave up and accepted him. You might actually be the strongest among us. Now I think my decision at that time was correct. I gained not only a friend like no other, but a brother as well. Then... follow me.
Yeah! I'll protect you no matter what!
I'm counting on it. And so I hoped that those beautiful eyes would not be covered in death.
Okay. I was at mid-sigh. Thank you, explosion. I was just about to say, please don't let there be an ending where these two goobers go out to battle and die together and our girl's just like, she lost both of them. Please. I don't want that. Anything but that.
The sound of barriers crumbling can be heard in the distance. It's also the sound of expectations being shattered. Gah! Shortly after departing, Toya's army and mine split into two. The royal army that protects the road to the royal capital and my army that protects the mountain road leading to the back gate. We deployed soldiers to all the key points, and our defense was perfect. Or so we thought. Fall back! Fall back! As I shouted at the top of my lungs, how many of my subordinates are left to hear it? Many were killed in an unexpected raid by the Rus army. They're way too familiar with our geography. The enemy had a complete grasp of our details, such as what kind of fortress there was, and how many people could be deployed, not to mention the geography here. Moreover, they attacked from the cliff behind the garrison, which is a hole in our defense. It was impossible to climb with a horse, and there were guards on the ground just in case, but for some reason, arrows fell from there. I underestimated that woman. I recall a woman named Shalu or something like that. I thought that there was not much that one girl could do. That's why, when I was convinced that she'd escaped, I didn't think too much about it. But maybe that Shalu had caught a much bigger fish than I could have anticipated. Women really are terrifying.
Die!
Don't you think so too? I cut down the attacking enemies, opening up a path for retreat. Our only option left was to join up with Toya's army.
Ha! Ha! Ha!
I never thought they'd concentrate their main forces here. Our forces were chased down one by one and defeated. I realized that Naran and I were the only ones left standing. Naran is also heavily wounded and is breathing roughly. The mountain road exit is far away.
Bro! I'll hold him off here, so you go on ahead.
Dumbass. As if I just leave you here. You go on ahead.
Please! I'm begging you, let me protect you. For the missus as well, you have to return home. You're irreplaceable, bro.
Well, that is true.
So humble.
After all, I am her friend. I cannot be replaced by Naran, her love.
Bro!
Understood. But there's just one last thing. I grab him by the shoulders and pull him towards me as if to say goodbye. His body that I felt in my arms was that of a man, as his boyishness of the past had disappeared. He really has gotten bigger. He was so small when we first met. I chuckled and patted his muscular, developed shoulders.
Bro?
This is my final wish.
Bro?
He knocked him out, oh no! Do you have like a horse nearby and you're just gonna be like, yeah, go horse, get out of here. No, is Surin sacrificing himself to get Naran out of here? Dang.
Holding his unconscious body, I whispered in his ear, which he probably couldn't hear. My true feelings, for the first and last time. If you die, she'll be all alone. I only put her through suffering. How could I go back and let the man she loves die? Thinking about her feelings, the one who should go back, isn't me.
He did, but sheesh. Surin coming in here though. Getting me in the feels. Ugh. Dang you, Surin.
I called for my horse and put his limp body on it. My partner, a black horse that had been with me on the battlefield since I became a warrior, snorted as if he realized something. Oh, and by the way...
Oh, you gave him the cloth to- Oh, sheesh. The symbolism! Oh, no. I'm gonna believe Surin didn't die here. No, unless they find a body, I don't believe it.
When I took the wrapped cloth from my head, it felt strangely radiant. With it dancing in the wind, I fixed his body in place. Go. Send him to Toya. When I gave the signal, my black horse ran in the direction as ordered.
What a smart horse.
My ears caught the sound of multiple footsteps approaching from different directions, and I couldn't help but smile. I am Surin, the Nasla military commander. If you're looking for fame and glory, come and get it! I remembered soon after I raised my sword high into the air. There was one last thing that I forgot to say. Naala. Whenever I called this name, the feelings I always had in my heart. I love you.
Why can you never tell her to her face? You stupid... you baka! Ah! Surin! I'm gonna drink some water. This game. Days we can't go back to. Just as I cowered at the sound of thunder, something on the wall fell without warning. Looking at it, the chain on the necklace with the red ball on it that Surin had given me before had broken. The symbolism! Right, Naala? Right? That's a bad omen. I picked up the red ball and tightened my grip on it. As soon as I grasped it, my heart tightened as memories of the day I received this with the two of them came back to me. Surin, Naran. When I awoke in the middle of the night to the sound of hurried footsteps, they had already disappeared from the mansion. Rude! Both you guys couldn't even, say goodbye to this woman. That might have been the last time you saw her. It is even more distressing to think about the reason for their silent departure. Your concern is always clumsy. At first, no one would tell me anything, no matter what I said. But when I turned a blade on myself and said, if you don't tell me, girl really was like, I won't hesitate. One of them told me reluctantly, Roos has waged a war. If they were that concerned about me, at least they could have let me see them off. No doubt I would have had mixed feelings about it, but the two of them are now irreplaceable to me. I wish they had at least let me pray for their safety before they left. And ultimately, again, I wasn't able to do anything. Before the two countries could improve their relations, another war has begun. Now my dear friends and my brother-in-law are crossing blades. I can only pray for everyone's safety in such a time. No, but to who and for what would I be praying for? As long as I have enemies and allies on both sides, there can only be loss. Even if it ends in a draw, a lot of blood will be spilled on both sides. Auri. Why now? Given that I had wanted Roos's army to take action, it's selfish for me to lament now. Even though I know this, I still want to ask, why? Why were there no other options besides war? Naran, Surin. Both of you, please come back safe. Unable to suppress my uneasy feeling, I took out the ring I had kept in a drawer, another red jewel given to me by Naran, and clasped the two together. Gripping them tightly, the jewels in my palm clinked together with a clatter. I want them to come back alive, together, like this. And if Auri can return safely as well, then we still have the possibility of an alliance. As the edges of the sky began to whiten, suddenly there was a commotion in the house, and I knew there had been a change outside. I hurriedly put the jewels away and ran out of the room. The two of them have returned? I grabbed a servant who was trying to run through the corridor and asked. The servant looked pale and grunted in reply.
I don't know either.
You don't know?
The army led by Lord Surin is reported to have been destroyed for the most part.
Destroyed?
His Majesty's army has now returned to the First District gates. Madam Naala!
I couldn't bear to hear the servant's explanation through to the end. I felt almost sick from panicking with flickering in my head. Almost before I could think about it, my body had started running, and I ran out of the mansion, shaking off the hands and voices that tried to hold me back. When I arrived at the square, soldiers covered in the dust of battle were just passing by. Even from a distance, I could see that they were terribly exhausted. Some had wounds on their legs and were being supported by their companions, while others appeared to be seriously injured and were being carried away on wooden planks. Suddenly, the sight of a bleeding body that is probably no longer breathing chokes me. It feels like the blood is draining out of me. I scold my trembling body, taking one step forward, and another. As I approach, the figure straddling the dignified black horse grows larger. I recognize, blink, and rush over as fast as I can. Toya!
Naala.
Where's Surin? Where's Naran?
Naran is behind me.
Almost falling down, I rush behind Toya. Naran was lying on the wagon with his eyes closed. Imagining the worst, I hurriedly checked to see if he was breathing. Thank goodness. He's just unconscious. I breathed a sigh in relief, assured by the slight rise and fall of his chest. Toya, who had stopped the horse, looked down at me silently. Toya, where's Surin? Why aren't you saying anything? Please!
Surin seems to have fought Roos King Auri's army to the last. We've received reports from the surviving soldiers who fled.
What do you mean?
This was found wrapped around Naran's body.
Toya didn't answer my question, but handed me something he pulled out of her pocket. Her pocket? His pocket? It fluttered in the wind, caressing my cheek. This is Surin's treasure that I saw every day. The cloth that adorned his shiny black hair was now in my hands. A tremor that started at my fingertips spread throughout my body, blurring my vision.
The army I fought with was a diversion. The Roos King pretended to be on the road, and advanced onto the royal capital from behind. Surin's army was hit by wave after wave of surprise attack, and they were forced to withdraw. Ultimately, they couldn't regroup with my army. I'm told it was a very elaborate technique, as if they had an informant.
So, where is Surin? Answer me!
I believe Surin took on the army alone, and in the end, he was defeated by the Roos King Auri.
Auri killed Surin? Those two, they just clash and kill each other in so many endings. But I'm gonna smoke my copium. I'm gonna inhale deeply of the copium, and maybe Auri took Surin prisoner and he's not dead. Nobody saw the body, right? Right. I'm not coping, it's fine. The scenery got distorted as I got weak in the knees. Toya quickly dismounted from his horse and supported my weakened body.
Seeing that they have turned back, Surin must have managed to injure the Roos King. Truly, it was a magnificent end for the war god. I am proud of him.
And even hearing Toya's words, I couldn't comprehend the reality. I muttered it over and over in my mouth, rolling the meaning over. No matter how much I could have predicted this outcome, I didn't want to understand it. My brother-in-law killed my friend.
Thank you.
Huh?
For crying for my friend.
Crying? Drops of water fall into my outstretched palms. Looking at it for a while, I realized that I was crying. My voice, with no one to hate, no one to blame, and nowhere to go, echoed inside of my body. I buried my face in the cloth that I was holding, and I was about to explode with swirling thoughts. Memories and the scents engraved into my body fill my nostrils. You truly were a terrible person to the end. At first, hatred. Ultimately, heartbreaking sadness. The man who was my husband and my friend has gone just like that. So, after only a couple of months of marriage, I became a widow. Naran!
Bro! Where's Bro?
This was found wrapped around your body.
This is...
I hand over that wrap cloth with a trembling hand. Naran's hands froze as he received it, and after a while they began to tremble slightly.
I have to go find Bro.
Naran, Surin is already...
No! It should have been me! I'm the one who should have died!
Naran. Naran's hands, covering his face, were shaking violently, and his nails were digging into his skin. Unable to bear the sight of his pain, I reached out for him. But before I could touch it, Naran's body began to convulse, and my fingertips had nowhere to go. His grief is so deep that I can't find the words to console him.
No! This can't be! No! 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 This can't be!
If only it all really didn't happen at all. As I listened to Naran scream, I thought of the days that would never return.